Alright, so recently have this thing got released by Ethnic Characters of Hyperborea, written by Ben Ball. What is the purpose of this? Well, the original Hyperborea books, first, second, and third edition, don't have a built-in guide for how to create people of, random combinations of human, uh, we'll just go with races. So this was created by Mr. Ball. Now, the book does have some race combinations in it, but only a handful of specific ones that are there because of the fact that in universe they're actually populations of them and not um, just it's individuals who are combinations. And oh, also, if you want it, it's free on Drivethru RPG. Good stuff. So, Hyperborea also has the concept of common people, which common is actually a reference, a way of describing people who are, let's go with melting pot. Things got stirred around and doesn't really have any. It might look like a certain ethnic group, but you're not really a descendant of that ethnic group specifically. You might include that ethnic group that you look like, or you might not actually look like any of the ethnic groups in particular. Just like something somewhere. Anyway, so this works rather nicely with another thing written by Ben Ball called Waves of the Boreas. Now, Waves of the Boreas is one of the things you can find on the Hyperborea website for free, along with several other things that are also quite useful if you're going to be playing the game. Waves of the Boreas is for randomly generating characters quickly and easily. It doesn't need to be player characters. It can be NPCs for a story, or you can use it to generate player characters. There's a lot of stuff in it. It's actually a 125-page document, so I'm not even going to try showing more than this page of it because it's a lot of stuff. Most of it's actually just like pre-set um, combinations of, I guess you could say, results of doing a random roll and made into a list to choose from. Which, yeah, you read through it, it'll give you all the stuff you need to do on how to do that. But anyway, the reason I'm mentioning is that it has this here that I highlighted in orange. Roll to determine race. Now, if you're using the by ethnic characters thing, you would put that in here, and then I guess pick a race when doing the race kit part later. Anyway, though, how does this work? Well, this actually uses a different method of selecting a race than the regular uh, thing here, because see, this is like primary race, ancillary race, whatever. Well, this, because of the fact that they're leaving out three of the races, can't do the same roll. So it has a different one. And here is the table for that. Again, this is the free thing, so I'll just show whichever pieces of it I feel are useful for this discussion. As you can see, so the things that are ancillary races in the other chart are only a 1% chance when doing the D100 roll. For my test roll, I got 31 and 73, which is Eskimo and picked half-blood. Now, I'm going to do test generation for that using the assumption that it's an adult female Eskimo character. All right, so also, also this mentions that you have to look things up in the main Hyperborea player's manual, which that's actually pretty cheap on Drivethru RPG. All right, so here is the this bottom part of page 3 because I don't feel like scrolling through the whole thing. Eskimo picked Half Blood. Reroll any sixes on a 3d6 die roll. D50 plus 10 eye color, D20 plus 40 hair color, D10 plus 40 complexion. Those rolls for eye color, hair color, and complexion, those charts are actually not just a sliding scale. It's kind of complicated. Anyway, oh yeah, here is where you have the Hyperborea Player's Manual on Drivethru RPG. Um, so for the test roll I did, reroll any sixes on a 3d6 roll for height. I got 5 3 6s, so I don't have to reroll any. And on the chart, it tells you to add uh, D3, and I got a 3 for that because that's just how you do that. That's get a result of 10. So I get a woman who is 5'8" and 135 pounds. Eyes, D50 plus 10. The result is 31 plus 10, so light brown. And here you go for hair, dark brown. Complexion comes out as light brown, which is not what you would get for an Eskimo. Eskimos always end up with, I think it's called jaundiced complexion. Pretty sure that's what I always get. So being half blood picked means you end up with darker brown skin. But, brown eyes, brown hair, yeah, that's kind of normal for Eskimo. And being on the short side, I think, is actually something for that comes from Eskimo because um, this means that you can't get anything that's on the top end of the height scale. It doesn't actually skew it all that much, but yeah. Alrighty then. So yeah, that's just been a quick look at this because again, it's just one of those things where it adds a little bit of depth and complexity to character generation. So you might end up with something that's functionally the same as a, a pure race or not. Also, going back here a second, looking on this chart, a lot of these are actually very ordinary. Like anything that involves Eskimo and Ixian just says use the Eskimo Ixian uh, procedures because you're mixing Eskimo with Ixian. Pretty, obvious. Khmeri Celt. Um, yeah, see, this is actually slightly different than Khmerian and Celt, which is interesting because it actually has a completely different hair color result than Eskimo Celt or Eskimo Khmerian. Kind of cool. I haven't actually tried to figure out whether the whole thing makes sense, as the saying goes, but whatever. Very flavorful in the way it has each of these things carefully, specifically thought out. Because certain races just look differently than others. And this plays with that. Alrighty, well, yeah, it's just one of those things that do you technically need it? No. Is it helpful? Yes. Is it free? Also, yes. So, why not? Alrighty, well, that's what my thoughts on this. And let me know in the comments if you disagree for some reason. Oh, see you guys later.